Today I wanted to share with you another impressive release by San Martin, the SN0144 CG. This watch represents, according to me, the best China has to offer in terms of quality, value, to such an extent that it can be argued that this watch can compete neck and neck with Swiss and Japanese timepieces costing several times more, while retaining a very distinctive identity with those big Chinese numerals. Maybe you are skeptical, and rightfully so. After all, so many tangible and intangible aspects are at play when judging the value of watches, but maybe you'll see things differently when you see what this watch has to offer. And of course, if you are interested in this timepiece, you will find all the affiliate links with the respective discounts in the description of the video. This timepiece is part of the now famous SN0144 family with the typical Chinese finishing Jianzhan dials, but never has the company taken it so far with the Chinese identity. I am really glad to see that San Martin is building upon this excellent base, this excellent family of watches, and even improving upon them in terms of quality. The original SN0144G released 2 years ago and was already extremely impressive, but I believe that here they have refined things further, especially in the bracelet and clasp departments. But more on that later. What remains common with the original SN0144 is the case shape and original dimensions, and of course the case back. The movement has been slightly changed to the no-date Miura 90S5, but let's focus on what makes this version so special, and it has to be those big Chinese numerals. Every even index is indeed a Chinese numeral, in contrast to Roman or Arabic numerals that we are used to seeing in our watches, and that works very well here in balance with the other designs aspects of the watch. And in typical San Martin fashion, the numerals are full of BGW X1 lume, which is the most advanced and potent grade of superluminova, and it shows in the initial glow with its uniformity and potency, which lasts really long. And let me just interrupt you for a bit to let you know that in this channel we talk about amazing quality and value watches like the San Martin. So if that is something that you enjoy, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel or just leave a like if you feel the video warrants it. Thank you very much. The rest of the dial is what San Martin is calling the rabbit hair finish, and that also has a cultural explanation, as it's a very specific type of Jianzhan finishing. For those who didn't follow the SN0144 trend, Jianzhan is a porcelain technique from the Song dynasty over 1,000 years ago. Jiangqin, translating as rabbit hair, is a type of Jianzhan finishing, thus named because of the slenderness of the pattern. Compared to the SN0144 that I reviewed a few months back, the pattern is thinner here and looks therefore slightly more refined. There are 4 colors, the blue that I have here, but there's also a brown, a grey blue, and the fan favorite green blue, which I have to agree looks the most interesting. Check that Jiangqin pattern, it does catch the light beautifully, and indeed the thinness of the pattern is impressive, and it resembles more the iris of an eye pupil when looked from very close. As for the text on the dial, the haters of the hexagon logo, and there are many, will be glad to know that there is a simple text branding in here on the top of the dial, mirrored by the text automatic at the bottom. Let's talk case now, as this is the same case as the original SN0144G. The dimensions don't change much, with 39mm in diameter, 10.1mm in thickness, 46.1 in end-link to end-link, 20mm in log width, and the bracelet tapers from 20 to 16mm, making it really nice and easy and comfortable to wear. Many will be quite impressed that the finishing is mostly brushed all over with a small lip around the bezel and the chamfers on the sides of the case and bracelets being an exception. This is a good decision as first of all, the brushing is, as per San Martin standard, superb, and the brush surfaces attract less scratches than the polished ones. However, with less polished surfaces, the watch will be less flashy, but that's good because it balances out the eye-catching dial. The few surfaces that are polished are done so beautifully and pop out more because of how few they are. The new aspect here is the shape of the bezel, which forms a concave angle which leads the eye towards the lower polished lip. There's a polished chamfer rounding the back edges, which ensures comfort once you're wearing the timepiece. This will be very important to many of you, as it has been the bane of San Martin watches, with many fans complaining about sharp finishes. This comfort is locally extended to the bracelet, which benefits from the same chamfers underneath the links. Actually, all of the links on the J-style bracelet are chamfered at the light to the eye. The clasp is the same as the one in the SN0148, with around half a centimeter of micro adjustment. Finally, let's talk about the movement. And as we have mentioned, we have the Miura High Beat 90S5, which allows this watch to be as thin as it is. The movement beats at 28,800 beats per hour and has a power reserve of 42 hours, beating the typical Swiss ETA 2824, and is an excellent choice for a watch at this price point. When I put mine on the time grapher, it came absolutely spot on, and that is really well. I do hope it stays like that while I wear the watch continuously. But let's talk price. If you're in the EU, you can have this watch from a vendor called SKB Watches that has a local warehouse in the EU in both Germany and France, so no taxes for you. And with code HR15, you even have a $15 discount, taking this watch to 310 euros. Outside of the EU, your best bet is the official San Martin store on AliExpress, where you see it for $352 as of today, and of course all links and discount codes will be in the description of the video. So positives and negatives of this watch. First, the positives. It goes without saying that it is a really high quality watch. If you're judging on the quality, finishing and components, this really challenges Swiss watches costing many times more than this one. So the value, even at $350, is definitely there. Also the fact that they haven't shied away from their Chinese identity, that they have actually embraced it, and even more while keeping the beautiful aesthetics and the value of the SN0144 family. Another important point, it is the comfort on the wrists, and it is present here thanks to the well-rounded chamfers and crowd-pleasing dimensions. On the negative aspects, I would really have wanted a small date wheel. At first, not knowing a lot of Chinese, I thought that the numeral at 4 was a date wheel. That would have been great, but once again, that is only me. Also, as good as the clasp is, the on-the-fly adjustment is rather small and won't give you more than half a centimeter, which is down from what San Martin used to give us in previous models. And as some of you have noticed, prices are slowly creeping up. Even though this is a great value, it is slightly more expensive than the original SN0144G. Of course, that can be mitigated with sales and codes, but still it has to be noted. But all in all, this is an excellent watch which brings the SN0144 family to new heights and delivers something new with a Chinese dial. If you stayed here until the end, first of all, thank you very much. And I believe that it might be because you enjoy very much San Martin watches. So I'm going to leave you the playlist of my San Martin reviews here, and I will leave you my selection of the greatest bargains that you can find right here. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you right away in these videos.